kind of the outline of this, I do believe was Isabel that kind of
Okay, I kind of thought that too. That would be
did
fine.
it, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Often the EDO would handle marketing. That's very much an EDO's job. So doing print ads and such, absolutely. Not necessarily putting the event together of Solstice.
Mhm.
That would be more of a CRC and working with that group. But the marketing, the print marketing is very much falls into an EDO position, yeah.
And much of this could have actually been done by the magazine. We could have provided them with the elements and they put them together.
I said, I don't think that's what happened in this
No.
case though. If you look at our other marketing material, it's all very similar.
Yeah, Isabel.
So we just follow
Yeah.
something we have.
Yes.
Sure.
So, all in favor, receive and file?
Yeah.
Carried. 11.2 is the SCR report. Need a motion on the table for receive and file. Ray, Teresa seconder, discussion.
Just one quick question. The South Power on demand waiver applied for Carol. Was that the $1,200 a month they were going to charge us all the time, even when the plant was shut down?
Actually, I don't know what it means as far as dollar value goes, but I know all the invoices, there's an on-demand, so
Okay.
just the fact that it's there, you're getting charged, yes.
Yeah.
And that's been waived for, gosh, how many months is it, till the end of September?
From March until the end of September.
Yeah,
That was at $1,100, right?
I don't know exactly how much. I know that it was like a nice piece of change.
Yeah, the last council, I remember when you guys were surprised by it. You were kind of, whoop.
Well, they nail us like a demand factor every month.
I know.
yeah.
And I was hoping that's the waiver, because that's,
Yes.
you know, the plant they shut down for 8 months, and we're still having to pay $1,000 a month with that.
Well, and historically, a lot of times municipalities would actually shut it down. Like they have it
Yeah.
shut down for the season when they're not using it. And then I think with the utility companies decided to do that, if you're gonna do that, it's gonna cost you X to get it all started up again. So it didn't make sense to shut it down and then pay the big fee, so we left it on and get the on-demand fee, right?
So the pool and ball is going well?
The pool's going well, yeah, ball's going well.
Yeah, it seems like it from watching.
Everyone's out practicing, there's been a couple clinics in there, and we're almost done the advanced courses at the pool, so then we can open up more like public swims and lessons and.
That's good. Good for you.
A good time for the public swims.
Good.
All in favor on receive and file? Carried.
Good, good, good.
Public Works report. Motion to receive and file. Paul. Seconder, Ray. Discussion.
I just wrote down one question. Is there some kind of a plan for the dandelions in town? To treat them?
Salads, wine.
Yeah, that too, if you've got a plan. Is there a plan to be spraying the dandelions?
I will have to look into that. I do believe we've got people with their proper pesticides licenses.
I know
so-
we do,
Yeah, so,
because everything really bloomed in the last,
oh, it sure did.
our apple
Yeah.
tree overnight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah.
I just-
Oh, it smells heavenly out there.
Yeah.
And
Apple
the
tree, oh.
dandelions have really appeared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Along with-
Weeds along the sidewalks on Main Street is starting to show up. Nice flowers.
Dandelion spraying. And weeds on Main Street.
So in there, it says about ordering the trees work. Now, we're replacing some trees, and where else are we putting trees?
Dustin's taking care of that, so I'm nice. Do you
It's
know?
all taken care of. He's done.
Well, are we just replacing the dead ones, or are we planting new trees? in
Actually, he
the
never gave us a plan. We didn't ask for a
Actually,
plan.
no, there was a list that came to the public
But
works.
he has all the trees and everything, and,
Yeah.
you know,
We
we
were-
didn't
Yeah.
have a plan for it, but apparently they know where they want it.
Where they didn't put them?
I'll email council the list of trees and the proposed locations.
Okay.
How many trees are we talking about?
Well,
$8,000 worth?
$7,000 worth, that was meat funding from,
Yeah.
yeah, $7,000 worth of trees.
Probably less than $100 a tree. Does that sound right?
This bullet plan.
Because in the public works, what, did it state the number of trees you guys? had
Well, it
ordered?
did, but prices vary,
Yeah.
right?
oh, for
So a lot of it was based on last year's pricing, so we took the list to Bouvier's, I believe. And they were gonna check on pricing to see if we're still getting the same number of
sure.
trees.
Yeah, I think that's great that we're getting trees, I'm
Yeah.
just curious where.
I was told too that, I'm not sure what you call these guys that come in and check on trees while they're dying and stuff. There's a name.
Arborist.
Is it an arborist?
Arborists.
Okay. The guy named John that Volk or Ned had talked to, and he went out to his farm and showed him, and he told him what to do. Like, all these trees are not, you can save some of them.
Yeah.
When they're too far gone, yes, you don't want to spend money on them. But you don't want to leave them there either. I mean, anything dead, it's got to get pulled out.
Right.
For sure, so. But there is, just because it's starting to look bad, you might be able to save
Well,
them.
you can do wraps.
But it also depends on what cost you want to spend on an evergreen that's, say, 50 years old. Do you want to spend $500 on it or more? There, that's where, so. Okay, all in favor on the receiving file? Carried. Financial reports for the April 30th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the resolution that we.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, 11.4, council resolution. I checked it off. Motion to receive, Paul, Teresa, seconder.
Sure.
Discussion,
Very good.
Yeah.
I like this. Very good.
okay, all in favor? Carried, receiving file. Now, number 12, financial reports for April 30th. Motion to accept. Andre, seconder. Deanna. Discussion. No questions? All in favor? Carried.
These will mean a lot more when you have a budget to compare them.
Yeah, we're kind of in the dark here, but okay, good.
Okay, accounts for approval. Motion to accept, we're gonna do all three of them at once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion, Sam, seconder, Ray. Discussion?
Just have one question under 18358 with all the cell phones. Have we considered anything other than cell phones? They have products now that are like cell phones, but they're actually walkie-talkies.
I have had experience with walkie-talkies, and I'm sure they've improved over the years. But there were problems sometimes with conflicting with other people that had walkie-talkies, so your frequencies, and sometimes distance. So, I mean, if we sense, so, I don't know.
I just wondered if there might be financial savings by switching over, but I mean, if there's no savings, there's no
Yeah.
sense.
I haven't looked into it at this point in time.
Soundstel used to have something called 210 on your
I
cell.
think maybe that's what I'm
And
thinking.
you could be in Calgary and I want to get a hold of you, just go 210 and talk to you.
Okay.
That I just don't know if it's anymore. But that was your cell phone and then conversion back into a little bit of radio.
So is it a certain data package that they're?
Well, this would be under commercial in a sense because you have so many. What is the total package on that? Is that each one?
Kind of looks like it each
Yeah.
one is just pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
imagine it is.
Yeah, it is. That's what
I
I
pay
think.
80,
Yeah.
so that's almost double.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can certainly put it on my list to check into some different plans, because I'm not sure what our plans are.
Yeah, because the basic charge, like, a lot of our, we don't need them on long distance on some of this stuff, right?
I would hope. Or US,
Yeah.
or
I
whatever.
would hope so.
Well, no, but I mean, that's an expense, that is
Even,
expensive.
No, it is
even,
expensive.
even data plans,
Mhm.
do they really need, I mean, I'm sure that there would be things that they could or should look up, but maybe one or two of them need data plans, but
Well,
not.
actually,
But I think for the
The other
most
thing
part,
that-
call and text would be
yeah,
all you need.
that's right.
Mhm.
Dustin would be the only one that would have the rest.
Yeah.
The rest shouldn't be calling out.
But really, the only, you know, when I look at it, I was thinking, the only person that really needs a cell phone would be Dustin.
Mhm.
You know, the rest would be some other version, like if there was a 210 that still existed,
Yeah.
and we paid a stipend to the employees to have the 210 on their personal phone, who are all carrying personal phones,
Yeah, that is a big
it would
expense.
still come out cheaper, if it's possible.
Do you know if I don't know, do any of our vehicles have in-vehicle radios?
I don't think so.
So, like, if Dustin needed to get a hold of the guy in the garbage truck, we don't want Dustin driving all over the place. to get a
Right,
hold of
yeah,
the guy in the
and
garbage.
I do see the value,
Yes.
because it's easy to communicate, but that's pretty expensive.
It is, it is.
It's cheaper, it'd be cheaper for him to drive.
Oh.
Yes,
And go out, go around searching.
Except we might need his time.
no,
No, that's definitely something for.
Yeah.
yeah, some to,
Yeah,
just.
Yeah. yeah.
Because on the farm, we have radios in all our vehicles and everything, but I think everybody tends to use the phones now.
Yeah.
So it kind of evolves.
Another option would be if each of the employees have a cell phone, maybe we give them a certain amount of money toward their cell phone if they use it for work.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
it is, yeah.
That's a good option.
You could cut that in half right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody doesn't have a cell phone.
But they may not take it to work. Like, for instance, I can't use mine at work, so I don't even bother to take it, so.
The only issue of people using their personal cells for work-related business
Yeah, I'm a little leery about that.
is information that passes to a person's cell phone. You have no control over that when it's on their personal phone.
Yes.
And if they leave employee, they have that information.
Yeah.
And some of that information might be stuff that should be kept confidential as their employment.
Well, on the other side is, you know, paying cell phones and using it for personal.
That's
You know, it's a business
Well,
phone,
that's
yes,
true.
it's used for personal.
That's true, but when they leave and you take that phone, they've lost their personal.
That's right.
No, I think if you could just find maybe something that's a little more
Yeah.
reasonable price.
I can certainly have somebody looking into that.
Small thing.
Okay, anything else on there? On the-
I wanted to ask a question about 18364.
Are we just on the first one still?
I'm on this one, the third.
Third one? The 32?
I think it might have come up.
That's fuel.
Yes,
And what was the number?
18364.
64.
We have a lot of trucks running around town, and there's, like I understand, there's one truck there, what's DA mean? For 661?
DA would be Dustin Acton.
And is that a monthly, a fuel bill? $661 monthly fuel bill?
I don't know if that's monthly or not. I would think so. I would think DA would bill us monthly.
Yeah, that is a lot of money for running around town.
It is.
For
Well,
1 month.
I know that he did have to go to, wasn't it Regina, to check out the, what was that? Was that the sweeper?
I was wondering if that might
Because
be
he
something.
did go and look at that before that came to council.
Well, that's less than half a
So,
month.
well, I'm just saying that's not around town, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't.
You know,
Yeah, because it wasn't yesterday, they had to make a trip to the city good parts.
he could have, yeah.
And then they went to the sign, clean up the sign.
Yeah, they went to Belplain.
So,
I don't know what they
Maybe
did
this
there.
is just kind of a,
Yeah.
an offshoot.
I don't mind a big cost if there's things that are done, but all the other trucks, I see them on the streets very much. And I know what happens to my truck. If the tank gets empty, $125 to fill the tank. So, but it just seems like we've got a lot of people that are burning gas, and everybody has an individual truck. So, just a point, it's
Mhm,
that,
mhm. Very concerned.
yeah.
I know in my past job, where I went that day, so that the boss could look, and because I was filling up every day, so and now with GPS, so they track you, they know where you're going, type of thing. But- And it's just nice because then somebody can ask, here it is, and it's over.
But $661 in gas is huge.
Well, that takes you to Vancouver and back.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, yeah.
never got to.
So,
Anyway, that's okay, I just thought there's a lot of people that are,
I have poor gas mileage.
yeah, no, they are, I still. Yeah.
Yes, I can definitely get him to look into this
Yeah.
for you.
everybody done with it? All in favor? Carried. Okay, new business. 15-1. Request for decision on Gravelbourg minor hockey proposal. Motion to get it on the table.
I'll make a motion.
Teresa, seconder. Andre, actually, yeah, I guess we gotta pick one, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to,
But-
the dates proposed.
So we've got to talk about some things first.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, a question from Teray. This is the case, September, you say it's gonna be warm. What, I mean, we know that it's hard. Did you read that one?
It does say, but we just said it's gonna be expensive for us.
Can you add cool water to the condensers outside, and does that help
Yeah,
big time?
you gotta put a mist and you're gonna save 10 degrees different.
Yeah. And now it
Not
helps.
helping to drive all temperature.
So that's one avenue to try to
One avenue.
alleviate the working of it.
As soon as you reach over 80 Fahrenheit, your condenser efficiency goes drops.
Mhm.
So you were saying, Ray, with a cool mist, that would help?
Cool mist, that's what I used to do with red and white and RGB. Cool mist.
So that might cost a little bit more. We would run a hose up there and have it kind of running all the time. And, but if you could figure out how many gallons a day, it shouldn't be
That much.
tremendous.
It was just like, yes.
But it's an option to keep things running.
Because I think I'm one that, I would like to propose that as dates start as what they recommended, but then it can always be reviewed too. Because
Yes.
the one thing is the COVID, the other thing too is if we're in harvest, maybe with the delay, but I think tentatively is to go with this. And then I like what Ray's recommendation about the mist, I think that can help.
Is that his recommendation or mine?
And Ray's the wise one. I'm not saying you're not wise, but he knows his.
And just, what do other rinks do? There's lots of other rinks who open and
Well, they have
their
different,
summer.
there's so much different units out there that
Yeah.
their rinks are even made differently.
Yeah, the newer ones now are completely different in line. Because rings like ours don't open early.
Permafrost is a big problem that we would have that probably Regina and Moose Jaw wouldn't have.
Yeah.
That's if you're gonna run too long in the summer, then you're gonna permafrost and then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's why you can actually crawl underneath most of those rinks, because it separate the ice from the ground. Things like that, but I mean, and hopefully they can do that down the road, a few $1 million, 10 years from now.
Because our condensers ours are really old.
Oh
They're
my
the
goodness,
original.
ours is probably 60, 70 years old
Yeah.
easy.
So with the new ones, that would change
Everything,
a lot
yeah,
of things.
but even change the whole rink, jackhammer everything out, and put it all in, but I mean, that's,
Yeah, you'd have to,
Down the road.
like you say, dig it out, take that old
yeah.
cement right out, dig it out, get a whole new floor.
So put that in this motion.
No, this motion is to accept that.
Would there be an opportunity for the hockey association to pay an additional fee if it's more costly for us to operate that early?
Well, okay. the
He
water.
did say,
Yeah.
when he talked, he
About,
said, they could, if it's a possibility
Yeah.
to do a capital project
Yeah,
Yes.
where they could.
because I'd love to see the kids go back earlier.
Me too.
I think everybody's so sick of being at home, it would be a benefit for everyone.
Yeah, I think if we can get, opportunity to get things going in our community, It might cost us a little bit, but I think in the long run,
That's
we're
right, I
gonna
agree.
recoup it.
We're making money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think he has the ability to try to help out.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's not,
Try to mitigate our
it just, we
costs
don't
where.
wanna see our compressors go down,
No,
so,
No,
yeah. They probably run better at night. So your motion will be to accept
Accept it,
under,
with,
Recommended motion?
yeah, accept recommended motion number 1 with the option of reviewing at a later date depending on harvest
and
and,
that he had,
COVID.
he had brought that up too.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
that was my motion.
Okay. Who seconded that?
I thought I did, yeah, I agree with it.
All in favor? Carried.
that's it.
All right, 15.2 is the skate park committee request. Motion by Samuel,
Yes, I will.
seconder by Deanna. And which one are you taking there, Sam?
I was taking a recommended motion.
Okay.
Mhm.
That we approve the skateboard committee's proposal to change the landscaping in the BMX skate park area furthest north of the rink and just south of 6th Avenue as presented.
They've never had soccer in town?
No, that would, it's surprising because.
It is
that a
surprising.
We, the French school, with the big park area there, we had enough established quite a few years ago, push it. But they don't have enough to make a soccer team at the school anymore, so it kind of died out.
Right.
And because it was kind of a school thing, it sort of didn't continue. So there was at one time, because they have that big space there,
Right.
you know, and, but if they're willing to do it there, yeah, they've got the space.
Yeah. Leanne, do you have anything to say about it?
There is somebody in town that I've been in discussion with who actually played university soccer that I didn't know and just kind of recently discovered. And she would be interested in running some form of camps or whatnot. I don't want to give out her name 'cause it's not confirmed yet, but she's definitely interested in pursuing something with soccer, so.
Good.
I think it's a great
I
idea.
think so.
Just one question, if they're taking out the dirt, where's that dirt gonna go? Where are we gonna put it?
No,
Where are they gonna put it?
no longer.
There's not?
So Rich, what was the answer?
Not longer.
Who is on that committee?
Ben
Well,
Weed
they're listed on
and Laura.
Did I, oh, I missed that.
St. Martin is putting a swimming pool at the yard.
Yeah, Dan, Laura, and Trudy Piche.
Oh,
Trudy joined them. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, all
oh,
in favor?
sorry, I read that, I missed that, sorry.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Carried.
Could I make one suggestion, you know, administration? For the agreement, clause number 10, it says, in the situation the park is no longer in use and decommissioned, the community is responsible for returning the property back to its original integrity. That's an impossibility now. Could we not say basically that when, if they decommission the committee, improvements and assets become sole property of the town of Gravelbourg, because they've got a big slab of pavement there, and they've got facility, like, it's going to be a complex, and it's kind of silly that they're gonna have to wipe everything out if they come apart, you know what I'm saying? It's just a little, maybe,
But
administrative.
it's not just a little maybe because of its agreement that was signed by
Yeah,
council and their group, so maybe another resolution to have administration amend the agreement and put it forth to
okay.
this
yeah.
committee with that change?
Because I believe the intention at that time was the idea that the BMX hills and taking that all out, but I understand where you come from. that
Yes,
all-
so do I.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think we
And
should.
quite
I think we
frankly,
should
if
say
the
it.
committee folds, then I don't know how you're gonna force the committee to
Well-
put it back to
well,
the original anyway.
exactly,
It's a kind of a strange
Yeah.
kind of number on there, and I just thought, why don't we just take it out, so.
Well,
I
first,
would make a motion.
First, we're gonna vote on this.
Oh, okay, well, now,
All in favor? Carried. Now, I wanna make a motion to
I
have.
motion that, on the Gravelbourg land usage agreement, that item number 10 be changed, that agreed. In the situation, the park is no longer in use, and the committee, that improvements and assets become the sole property of the town of Gravelbourg. Okay, just change that above that part.
And she'll bring that back.
And she can bring it back, yeah. Just tighten it up a little bit.
Seconder on that motion. Deanna? All in favor? Carried. All right, 15.3 is a cafe for E outdoor patio. I'll make, oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'll make a motion to approve the request as presented.
With that recommendation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Seconder on that? Ray? Discussion?
I would think like, would they not have that already in their insurance policy?
No, because it's not their land. We're gonna have to lease them for $1, and then we want liability. We're getting everybody that rents from us
Yeah.
a liability thing. So,
So the 2 years before we didn't do this?
no,
Okay.
no.
How much space are they taking?
Well, they'll take the whole front of cafe and a
Two
little
car
part of the
lanes.
other one.
It's about 2 car
They
loads.
want a little extra than what they had last year because of the spreading of the tables.
Oh, they want,
Good.
okay,
Yeah.
so a little bit more.
But not, like, it's only in front of his stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I got a seconder on that, Ray? Everybody done with discussion?
Do you have a figure that you want to drop into that blank?
Oh, like $1.
Well, we never charged them for it before. I think this is just a matter of
Yeah.
providing them with an insurable interest. Because I could be wrong, Deanna, maybe you could help there. If they don't have an insurable interest, can they get liability?
I think you can, it's just a matter of what they're using it for. They'd have to put that forth to the insurance company. Don't do the commercial end of it, so
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure
Okay.
what they'd have to do to get it enforced.
And then
Because
we
it's
should-
only temporary, it's not.
Yeah.
Yes, it would just be temporary and,
Yeah.
yes.
And we should date it to time in and time out, right?
Yes, well, I would put that in the
Okay,
agreement,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just not sure whether you can get the 2 million liability, is what you're saying, on that?
Yeah, they'd have to, I'd have to bring.
Because it's an extension of the cafe, mostly for ice cream and pop.
Well, if they have problems, they can certainly let me know.
Yeah, yeah.
My understanding is usually you can't insure something if it's not yours, you know, in some, in some
That's right,
respect.
normally,
Right,
when
in
it
some
comes to
respect.
something tangible, you're right.
Yes.
You can't insure something that's
Right.
not yours.
And
But-
this takes away the liability, us being liable.
Well,
To a
it
point.
spreads the liability out,
Right.
is what it
It's
does.
just, it's just.
It's
that
not all on us.
With the
Right.
homeowners, I can be in Mexico and my liability will pick up.
Yes.
I don't own anything in Mexico, but it still picks up.
Yes,
So it may be the same way with commercial, I'm not gonna.
Because the tables are there, the barrier is theirs,
Lit up.
the lighting is theirs, the signage is theirs. People would view it as their space.
right. I'm just concerned because it's on the street. And if a car went crazy and drove through somebody having their ice cream, is it on the town because we allowed them to be on the street?
Yeah, you shouldn't drive and eat ice cream.
No, the car with the the guy's eating ice cream.
That's
And
why,
that's
that's
why
why
you
she
should
said
have
that.
a package policy on your car.
But wouldn't cafe, wouldn't their liability?
Well, that's where, no, but
That's
they
what
have to
I'm
add it.
Yeah, but you're adding another one here, aren't you, for the front?
No, if their liability picked up, they wouldn't have to add it.
Great, good,
They got their, on the building.
understand.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's up to him to get it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got it.
And provide us with confirmation.
Gotcha,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, a copy
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
All right, all in favor? Carried?
So you're putting the dollar in?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Okay, 15.4, FRD pre-budget approval, storm and sanitary sewer projects.
Motion, the recommended motion.
Okay, and we're gonna put both of them under the same motion?
For the, grant, capital work plan.
Okay. Does everybody understand SAS tenders? Because I've never used it before in my life. And we have never used it before here, but now we have to.
Well,
So-
let me clarify that.
Okay.
It is our easiest way to make sure we're following legislation.
Okay.
That's why it was put in place.
Mhm.
All we have to do is make sure it states lowest or any tender not necessarily accepted.
Okay.
Right.
And then, well, I don't care if we tender near or
Mhm.
close.
So my problem was, okay, was a motion and a second on the table?
I don't have a seconder. I have Paul, I don't have a seconder.
Second,
Deanna?
Deanna. Discussion. When it comes to the storm sewer, I felt that there should be how many feet? Like, when we just say we're gonna expend $154,000, we don't know what we're getting. I'm saying is, we should have okay, we're gonna break it down into 3 years and try to do it in 3. And then I'm just guessing that's 400 feet. So, I just don't wanna say, well, just do whatever
Yeah.
what you can for that kind of money.
We do need to know how many feet, because every now and then we have to have like a manhole or whatever.
Yeah.
So that would be included in the price, so yeah, we would almost have to
Yeah.
have the number of feet.
What was it, 1,500 feet? Like, we figured
I'm
out
gonna
it's
say 11 or 1,200 left, does that sound right to you?
I go 100 left.
Yeah.
So if we did it in 3 sections, so.
So I'm just saying 400 feet, of course, there's sand, and then there could be manhole at that.
Well, there's one section where it's gonna cost us more because we gotta put in that manhole.
That's right.
And then, don't we have to put a gate at the end?
Yes, we do.
So there's gonna be 2 higher costs.
And the end result, at the very end, lots of gravel. But what I'm saying is, we split it over a 3-year period. Doesn't mean next year we have to do it, but we also have a thing is, cleaning out what we got, there still can be complications. But some people say not, I say there will. If you can't clean off your edges, like, I don't know, the law of the land is 45 degrees.